So hello everybody, today we're going to do a super leisurely unboxing of vintage magic cards, both German and English. I bought them off a trader on eBay that I've been buying from for a couple of months now. So he basically sells 100 vintage cards, English, German, for €7.95, so that's nothing. There are two reasons why I'm doing this. Number one, I really love the old cards. I really love the old style, and I've said this before. I'm also a sucker for the old Magic, The Gathering, but also Wizards of the Coast art in D&D, and also prior to that TSR. I really like the old style. And also, I'm putting together a cube, a vintage cube. Now, there are different ways in which you can build cubes, and it also depends on how many people you want to be involved in the drafting. There's only ever going to be two of us, so the cube doesn't need to be this big. So I went for a 300 cube for the different colors, so 60 each for the different mana types. But if you follow, if you like, the rules on the website, a cube is always a singleton format, like Commander. So singleton meaning you can only ever have each card once. Now, I know a lot of people who are building cubes and have been building cubes, and they basically do things slightly differently. I know one guy, he builds vintage cubes and he basically goes by the rarity. So he basically builds set cubes, which is going to be super expensive. I mean, once he showed us like, I don't know, on a video, like 10 cards, and he bought them for like €500. I wouldn't pay that, but that's, you know, each to their own. But he basically says, okay, if a card is common, then I want it X number of times in my cube. If it's rare, you know, the old ones, C and U, and then a number after it. And so he does it like this. I don't. I go for singletons, except for the vintage cube. So far, I've not been able to get singleton, to adhere to the singleton rule for every single mana color. It wasn't a problem for red. And I think it wasn't a problem for black, but for others I had to double up because I simply didn't have enough unique cards. But I've just decided it's the summer, I'm not going on holiday just yet, so I've treated myself and we will see what's in here. Now, this can be anything. I actually got cards from Arabian Nights off this guy, so it's really completely random. So there is like 50 in each of these packs. So we're going to start randomly again. I just got them out of the box. And we will see what we get. I can tell you one thing. Red is the color that I got off of him the most. Hill Giant. I'm going to zoom in so that we can actually appreciate the art. So, Hill Giant. It's a 3/1 red, Dan Frazier 3/3. Fortunately, hill giants have large blind spots in which a human can easily hide. Unfortunately, these blind spots are beneath the bottoms of their feet. I'm already loving this card. Okay, so we're going to build mana piles. So Touch of Death, I have never seen this card, so I don't have it. Melissa Benson. It's a sorcery 2/1. Touch of Death deals 1 damage to target player and you gain 1 life. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn. Really like this. Bog Rats. I have not seen this card either. Bog Rats cannot be blocked by walls. The rats in the walls. It's a 1/1 creature and it costs 1 mana. 1 black mana. Willow Fairy. Haven't seen this one either, but we're going to get it twice. 1 and 2. 1 and 1. 1, 2. Flying. Hungry Mist. Also another Willow Fairy. I'm just going to put it here. Hungry Mist. It's 2/2 forest. During your upkeep, pay 2 forest or bury Hungry Mist. So basically send it to your graveyard. And it's a 6/2. Really like it. Multicolored Flügel der Hoffnung, so that's basically Wings of Hope, would be the translation. I don't know what the English one is. It's an enchantment, and the enchanted creature gets +1/+3 plus flying. So that's really very good because I'm planning on building a commander deck with sphinxes, and they are usually white-blue. Jotun soldier. Artifact creature. Attacking does not cause Jotun, sorry. Soldier to tap. So it's basically vigilant. 1/4 and no color. Monsters Goblin Raiders. Red. 1/1. Basically a cheap goblin creature. Fireball. Fireball, so that's X and 1 red, deals X damage divided evenly rounded down among any number of target creatures and or players. Pay an additional 1 for each target beyond the first. So you basically, if you just played for 1 red, and X mana, you can basically say, okay, I'm going to give it 5 for the X and then a 1 for the red, and then you do 5 damage. But if you want to do 5 damage and divide them between, I assume that you have to pay 1 additional mana, and then you get to do 3 and 2. Samite Pilgrim. The first white card. Prevent the next X damage. If you tap this, that would be dealt to a target creature, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Very nice. Flare. So these are all cards that I haven't seen yet. So as you can see, you get, I want to say this is Mirage. Flare deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Schauriger Schatten. I've got this one already. This is a really beautiful card. I really love the art. There are 2 types of art for this, I want to say, and I've got both of them, and this is now the German version. I really love this card. Illusion Wall. It's a wall. It has flying, first strike, and each time during the upkeep you have to pay 1 blue mana to not bury it. 7/4. First blue card. Another white card, Reinforcements, instant. Put up to 3 target creature cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order. Okay, for 1, that's a really powerful card. Reinforcements, again, different art. I really love it. And another Reinforcements, again, beautiful art. So 1 will go into the cube and probably, yeah, because for white I had to double up, but I don't have Reinforcements, so I'm going to go and put 1 into the cube. Dark Banishment. It's an instant for 2 and 1, which you can use to bury a non-black target creature. So that's good, basically it removes 1 creature. Cloud Elemental. 2/3 for 2 blue. For 2 and blue, flying, Cloud Elemental can block only creatures with flying, okay. But it also can only be, ooh, look at this, isn't this beautiful? Undo, return 2 target creatures to, whoa, okay. Vanishing. Enchant creature, enchanted creature phases out. If you pay 2 blue ones. I'll have to check what phasing out means. Disenchant, target enchantment or artifact is destroyed. First of all, look at this beautiful art. I mean, just what I really like about these old cards is the simplicity of the card, and sometimes also the simplicity of the art. I mean, this is just, it's some kind of talisman, and it just disenchants. I mean, it's just there. I really love these old cards because of their, like simplicity as well. Geheimnisvoller Schleier, so that's an enchantment for a creature, and it means mystical veil. We can also play it as an instant, and if you do this, then it has to go to your graveyard at the end of the turn, which makes sense. The enchanted creature cannot be a target for spells or effects. 1 blue. Another blue one, Betrayal. Play only one on a creature an opponent controls. It's an enchant creature. If enchanted creature becomes tapped, draw a card. Very nice. Windware, Wind Guardian. Oh, look at the beautiful art. It's a djinn. It's unstable. I looked this up, which means that at the end of the turn, an unstable card becomes if it's got instability. You play it like this, and then at the end of this turn, so it's got summoning sickness unless you put haste on it. So, and it's flying. So at the end of the turn that you play this, it gets turned over, and it cannot be used the next turn because it's turned over. But at the end of the next turn, you turn it over, and then you can use it. This is how I interpret the rule. Battering Ram, artifact creature, no color, banding when attacking. If Battering Ram is blocked by any wall, destroy that wall at end of combat. Very nice. We've had this before, and it's called Undo. Okay, I wouldn't have translated Undo with Loslösen. That's not actually what this means, and we've got it twice. So basically it means you have to take 2 creatures back onto your hand. Ooh, look at this. Oh, Mist Knight, Nebelritter. It's a 2/2 creature for 2 and 1 blue. It's got flanking. I have to look up what this actually means. When this guy comes into play, you have to pay 1 blue or bury a knight of your choice. So I suppose even this one would be affected. Betrayal, so you want 2 blues to play this. Yeah, we've seen this before. Mystic Veil, here we are. That's what we saw earlier, and my translation was correct. Healing Balm. Yeah, I've got this many times. So this is basically, it gives you or your or another player of your choice 3 life back, or you can prevent up to 3 points of damage either to a player or to a creature. So you could use this on yourself as well, but also on other. If there was a format where you basically have 2 players playing with each other against opponents, then that would be nice as well. You basically destroy 1 land card. Hail of Stones. Pikemen. Banding, first strike. There's also, we had this, they could attack together, banding when attacking. So basically they could work together. And I looked up banding, I've forgotten what it does, but it helps with attacking. Banding and first strike, 1/1. It's a hobble. It's hobble, enchant creature. It's a hobble, sorry. I read Hobbit first. It's hobble. When hobble comes into play, draw a card. Enchanted creature can't attack. Enchanted creature can't block if it's black. Okay, so basically you manage to bind another player's creature. Aura Blast, destroy target enchantment, draw a card. Wow. Man of War. Summon Jellyfish, 2/2. When Man of War comes into play, return target creature to owner's hand. Nice. Very nice. Disenchant, again, I love this card. Aura Blast, one more time, we've seen it already. Honorable Scout. When Honorable Scout comes into play, you gain 2 life for each black and or red target creature opponent controls. That's a really powerful card if you play against me. Bird Maiden. Summon Bird Maiden for 2 and 1, 1/2, flying. And another Hill Giant, we saw him before, so we're going to put them together. So as you see, there is doubling up of cards, but hey. Core Chant. Redirect to target creature all damage dealt to any one creature you control from any one source. What? Okay, so basically somebody attacks my card, my creature, and I play this, and I can take all of the damage that would be dealt to my creature and redirect it against any other creature, to any other creature. So I could actually take somebody else's out, and I've got it twice. Giant Tortoise. Giant Tortoise gets +0, +3 while untapped. So basically, while untapped. Why would that help? Because as soon as you tap it, it loses it. What's the point? If you block it, then... That doesn't make sense, does it? Giant Tortoise gets +0, +3 while untapped. But if it's untapped, so... Unless there is something where you have to count the resistance that you have. Power Sink. I wouldn't actually include this card because I also don't think it makes much sense. Counter target spell if its caster does not pay X. So that's kind of like ward. Target spell's caster must draw and pay all available mana from lands and mana pool until X is paid. He or she may also pay mana from other sources if desired. And X is what you put out. So if I have like 6 +1 blue, they would have to pay 6 additional from land and mana pool. So here we've got Recall twice. It basically is this: you send one card, one creature back to their owner's hand. And Soul Poison. You enchant a land. When the enchanted land is tapped, its controller gets 2 damage. It's a very nice card. So the good thing about this is I'm seeing lots of cards that I've never seen before. So I'm getting a good deal out of this already. And especially for white, where I definitely had to double up, I will be able to remove the doubles and put in new stuff. Cunning. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3. If enchanted creature attacks or blocks, sacrifice Cunning at end of turn. Okay? It's a one-off and it's also, yeah, it's quite cheap. Summon Orcs. Cannot be declared as attacking unless at least 2 other creatures are also declared as attacking. Cannot be assigned to block unless at least 2 other... Okay, nice. It's 2/2, but it's also quite cheap because it has the downside that you can only play it. Stone Hands. Enchant creature. Target creature gets +0/+2. And if you pay another red... So basically this is an always on. It always gets +0/+2 when you enchant it. But if you pay another red, it gets +0 until end of turn. Saber-toothed Tiger. First strike. Melissa Benson. We've seen her before. Summon, and again, as you may notice, I'm getting a lot of red cards. Summon Cleric. I mean, look at this beautiful art. It's just so out there. So it's an Orcish healer. You summon the Cleric for 2 red. 2 red and tapping. Target creature cannot regenerate this turn. 1 red and 2 black and tapping regenerate target black or green creature. 1 red, 2 green, and tapping regenerate target black or green creature. Very nice. Barbarian Guides for 2 and 1 red, 2 and 1 red plus tapping. Target creature you control gains a snow-covered landwalk ability of your choice until the end of turn. At the end, so this must be from this Cold Snap or whatever it was called. Tor Giant. 3/3 and 3 times actually, so this is the German version, and he simply has 3/3. Heiliger Wein. That's basically you get 1 life back and then you draw another card, a second card in your next upkeep. Alabaster Potion. For X+2, give target player X life or prevent X damage to any creature or player. Very nice. Another Healing Salve. Death Ward. Regenerate target creature, so that means bring it back from the graveyard. Circle of Protection Blue. You pay 1 and it's an enchantment, 1 and 1 white, and then you pay 1 of any color. Prevent all damage against you from 1 blue source. If a source deals damage to you more than once in a turn, you may pay 1 each time to prevent the damage. Circle of Protection white. They pretty much do the same thing. just for different mana colors. Advanced Scout. I think that's Tempest or something with, is it Tempest? First strike, target, and if you pay another white, target creature gains first strike until end of turn. So basically he has first strike, and if you want to team him up with something and pay an additional white mana, they also get. Morale. All attacking creatures get +1/+1 until the end of turn. Woohoo! Here we've got the battering ram, so now we've got this twice. We've got this soldier, or this Jotian soldier, so now we've got 2. So those are white, so we're going to put them aside. Scrib Sprites. Summon fairies, flying. For 1 green, you get 1/1, a 1/1 creature. Soul Net, Seelennetz. It's an artifact. And you pay 1 of any color, and if you then pay another 1 for each creature that leaves the battlefield and goes into the graveyard, you get 1 life point. And you can only use this once per creature. So if I've got 5 that die, I can pay 5 and then I get 5 life. This is how I read this. Disrupt. Counter target instant, interrupt, or sorcery spell unless its caster pays an additional 1 mana and you draw a card. Very nice. Typical blue card. Dark Banishing. I think I may have seen this before. Yes, we have seen it before, only with different art. Bury target non-black creature. We've seen this Cloud Elemental before. And if you are looking at this and kind of going, well, some of these are actually not really good quality. Honestly, I enjoy the fact that these are actually, that are cards that people have handled, that people have played. Because that's part of my wanting to collect them. Mage of the Change Guild. So you summon a mage for 1 blue and it's 1/1, and if you then pay 1 white mana and tap it, a creature of your choice gets first strike until the end of turn, and if you pay 1 black and you tap it, a creature of your choice gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Shock. Yeah, this is a card that you find across the different versions of the game. This is 6th edition. Kavu Climber. Creature, Kavu. When Kavu Climber comes into play, draw a card. 3/3 and 3+2. Gorilla Chieftain. Summon Gorilla. 3/3, 2+2. Another hidden spider. So, actually, if you go to Mana Critics and if you watch all of their videos, you will come to a video where Juju will explain to you that she is building a spider, has either built a spider deck or is going to build a spider deck, and she's collecting all of these spiders that exist in this game. So this would be one of them, and it's an enchantment. When one of your opponents successfully casts a creature with flying, if Hidden Spider is an enchantment, Hidden Spider becomes a 3/5 creature that can block creatures with flying, and that counts as a spider. Spiders have reach, which makes sense. So they use their nets, and then they can take down flying creatures. Circle of Protection, white. We've seen this before. Wetterkernelf. I don't even know how to translate it. So Wetterkern means weather kernel or weather nucleus. Elf. Have no idea. So you basically summon an elf for 1 green, and if you tap the elf, 1 creature of your choice gets forest camouflage until the end of turn, whatever that is. Dorfältester, so that is village elder. You summon a druid for 1 green and it's 1/1, and if you pay 1 green and tap it, you can sacrifice a forest land and regenerate a creature of your choice. Oh, here we go. Okay, first of all, we have Calming. It's an instant for 1 and 1 green. Oh, that's super powerful. Destroy all global enchantments. Oh, wow. So that means all enchantments go, even your own. But that's very cheap and very powerful. Giant Spider, here we go. That's the one I'm talking about, Sandra Everingham. I've got this a couple of times already. And to me, this kind of really epitomizes the old style, old school art. Like, this is something you would find in an old Dungeons and Dragons book. It's just, and it's a giant spider. This spider actually climbs over this desert city wall, and it's like, what the hell? And it's a 2/4. Advanced Scout, we've seen him before. Circle of Protection green. I really love the art of this as well. I mean, like this stylized forest kind of thing. Death Speakers, we haven't seen those. Protection from black. It's summon speakers and they are protected from black. I'm not sure if it means they are protected or everybody is protected. Probably only them, because otherwise it would be a bit overpowered for one. Howl from Beyond. Instant. Just look at the art. Target creature gets +X+0 until the end of turn, where X is the number of mana you pay. Fire Tark. That's basically Holiday. You basically for 1 white mana you get to negate all combat damage of this turn. That's huge. It's a very powerful card. Another Soul Poison, we've seen this before. Flight. Well, enchant creature, target creature gains flying. Very simple, very straightforward. Jump. That's interesting because that is pretty much the same card and it's called Jump, but it means target creature gains flying until the end of turn. I don't understand why they call it Jump instead of Flight, but hey. Legions of Limdul. Zombies. Snow-covered swamp walk. Okay. Again from this ice thingy. 1, 2 black. It's a Griffin. Razor Claw Griffin. 3 and 1. White. Flying and first strike. 2/2. Shattering Hit. It's an instant. 2 and 1 white. So but the basic cost covers destroy an artifact or enchantment of your choice, but if you pay another 2 and a blue one, you can also in addition draw 2 cards. Vodalin Sea Serpent, 2/2, 3 and 1 blue. It can only attack if the it cannot attack if the opposing player doesn't have any islands. So it's basically, it needs to see somebody with islands, otherwise it can't attack. And if you pay the bonus cost, which is 2 of any color, if you get this, if you pay this, then it comes into play with 4 +1/+1 markers. Soltari Foot Soldier, Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. Nice. 1. This is something, for example, that I wouldn't put into my cube, because unless I have other cards that also have Shadow, it doesn't really work and it's unfair. I would use it in a normal deck. And here we have Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by... Okay, so we've got the Soltari Trooper. We've got Essence Flare. Target creature gets +2/+0, and during each of its controllers' upkeeps, put a -0/-1 counter on the creature. These counters remain even if Essence Flare is removed. Okay, so essentially you enchant your creature, any creature, it gets +2/+0, and during each of its controller's upkeeps, put a -0, -1 counter on the creature. So it's, you increase its power, but its resistance is decreased every round. Wow. Death Ward. I mean, look at the art again. Harold McNeil. Regenerate target creature. Very simple. Bring it back from the graveyard for 1. So that was the first 100 cards. Many red ones, few black ones, which is unusual. Usually black comes out on top with red. Lots of white ones, which is super unusual. And when I take a look at this, most of these are singleton. So we've got the protection from white, the circle of protection from white. We've got this twice. We've got, these ones I already have, but that's fine. We've got disenchant twice. We've got reinforcements 3 times, but with 2 different versions of the art. Twice we've got the Aura Blast, and twice we've got the Advanced Scout, and twice we've got the Healing Salve. And the rest are singletons. So we've got a couple of doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards which we have twice, and 1 even 3 times. These ones are simple doubles for me. They're not doubles in this selection because I've already got them a couple of times. With blue, this one is double. Got definitely 2 of these. Here we are. This one we've got twice. This one we've got twice. This one we've got twice. Actually, we've got it 3 times because it's undo. So we've got twice. So here with blue we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've got 20 blue singletons, which is really good. Which is really good. Black, we only have singletons as far as I can tell. No, we've got Dark Banishing twice. And let's take a look here. Yeah, we did that already. Let's take a look at green. We've got the Willow Fairy 3 times, but that's fine. So on to the next 50. And I'm very happy with this because most of these cards I've never seen. And of course we got the Yotian Soldier twice and the Battering Ram twice. But again, that's fine because, I mean, if this was a real draft, if we were opening boosters, you know. Wall of Spears. Artifact creature, first strike. Wall of Spears counts as a wall 3. And it's colorless. Wundersame Heilung, so that's amazing healing or wondrous healing. You simply regenerate a creature. Pikemen, I think we've got these already. Healing Salve, but with a very different artwork. Beautiful. Beautiful art, very different. We can take a look. I actually prefer this one. Here, the Healing Salves. I'm just going to put them next to each other. I actually prefer this one. But here you can actually see her hands with the long fingernails, and this is basically her hands holding the salve. So I'm appreciating this. So we're just going to put it over here. Circle of Protection from blue, we've already seen that. Well, this is actually the wrong one, sorry. Soul Shepherd. Oh, that's poetic. It's a cleric that you, it's a cleric for 1 and 1. Remove, you can exile a creature card from your graveyard and get 1 life point. Gaia's Might, instant. A creature of your choice gets +1/+1 until the end of turn for each standard land that you control. Very nice. Armor of Faith, I've got this like so many times already, and I really think this is a really weird picture. Seriously. Grey Ogre, I've never seen this before. Summon Ogre 2/2, very nice for 2 and 1. Davenant Archer, 2/1. She deals 1 damage when you tap her to target attacking or blocking creatures. That's not combat damage. It's not an attack, but it just happens. Woo! Another piece of interesting art. Schrei der Seele. Shout of the soul. Cry of the soul. For 1 black. A creature you control gets +X+0, where X equals the number of creatures in your graveyard. That's a very black card. And at the end of this turn, bury that creature that you enchanted. Fog. I really love this. No creature deals damage in combat this turn. Very nice. Grizzly Bears. I wanted this card. They're just beautiful. You summon bears. Iron Root Tree Folk. You just summon Tree Folk. 3/5. So this one is cheap. 1 green. 1 and 1 green. 2/2. 4 and green. 3/5. Giant Growth. This is a card that comes in very many shapes and sizes. You simply play this for 1 green and your target creature gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Stone Kavu. Another Kavu. 4 and 1 green, but if you have red, then you can give it +1/+0 until the end of turn. If you've got white, it gets +0/+1. Plague Beetle. Swamp Walk. If defending player controls a swamp, this creature is unblockable. It is the harbinger of disease, not the carrier. 1/1. Iron Root Tree Folk. So we've seen this before. Very nice. This is the second time I've seen this card. Veteran's Voice. Enchant creature. For 1 red, play on a creature you control, and you can tap the enchanted creature for 0 cost. What? To give any other creature +2/+1 until the end of turn. Okay. Krovikan Fetish, enchant creature, draw a card at the beginning of the upkeep of the turn after Krovik Fetish comes into play. Target creature gets +1/+1. Okay. So you enchant a creature, gets +1/+1, plus you can also draw a card at the end. Iridian or Iridian, summon insect, Echo. During your next upkeep after this permanent comes under your control, pay its casting cost or sacrifice it. Okay, for 2/4, but it's cheap. 1 green, yeah. So you have to do this once. So you pay 2 and green because unless you can give it haste. We've seen these before. Forest fairies. They can fly. Dark Banishment. We've seen this before. Savage Offensive. Sorcery. 1 plus red, and you can also pay an additional green to kick it. Creatures you control gain first strike until the end of turn, and if you also kicked it, they get +1/+1 for a red-green deck. Dwarf Warrior, I've seen this card before, 1/1. Feral Instinct, instant. Target creatures get +1. Target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Okay. Holy, it's an enchantment, Holy Strength. You enchant a creature for +1/+2. Another enchant creature, giant strength, +2/+2 for 2 red. This looks like a photograph. It's a stalking tiger. 3/3. And only one creature can block him, not more. Which doesn't really make any sense unless it's got trample. Because Uktabi Fairy, flying, for 1 and green, and you can also pay 3 and 1 green and then sacrifice this creature to destroy an artifact of your choice. Wall of Wood, twice. 0/3. Land Leeches. This is a card that I've seen many times. I also own it. Crawworm. So this one's got first strike. This is simply a worm for 6/4 and 4/2/2. Tranquility. I love this card. And it's beautiful. Destroy all enchantment. War Mammoth. Crawworm. So Ray of Erasure. So we're now in blue territory. Target player takes the top card of his or her library and puts it in his or her graveyard. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Okay, very cheap card. You mill, they mill. Moorfiend, Summon Fiend, Swamp Walk. Which means if they don't control a swamp, they cannot be blocked. Skeletons, Regeneration. Okay, for 1 black, you also get it back from your graveyard. Scent of Brine. Okay, that's a weird card and also a weird name. Reveal any number of blue cards in your hand. Counter target spell. Reveal any number of blue cards in your hand. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card revealed. Ah, okay. So you pay 1 and 1 blue in order to counter a target spell. And if for this to work, you need to have at least 1 blue card in your hand, which you reveal, or more. If you have, you can have up to 7, I suppose. And then the opposing player gets to say, yes, I still want to play my spell, and I'm going to pay the number of mana for the number of blue cards you reveal. Squadron of Fairies. Which it doesn't have flying. It just comes in for 1 blue and 1/1. But if you pay 3 plus 1 blue, you put in 2 plus 1/1 markers on it, and it gets flying. Forbid. 1 and 1 blue. Neutralize a spell of your choice if its mana costs are 2 or less. If you pay the bonus, which is 2 of any color, you can neutralize a spell that has 4 or less cost. That's something I would put in our commander deck. Gaia's Bounty. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, shuffle the library afterwards. Lava Zombie. It's a multicolored for 1 and 1 black and 1 red, 4/3. And when it enters the battlefield, you can get 1 black and 1 black or red creature from the graveyard back into your hand. And if you pay 2 of any color, the Lava Zombie gets +1/+0 till the end of turn. It's already got a 4/3, so it's a really good card and it's quite cheap. Oh, Malevolent Advice. Instant. You can pay X +1 blue +1 black, and you tap X artifacts, creatures and or lands, and you lose X life points. Yeah, that's a very black card. Circle of Protection, Shadow. Yeah, prevent all damage to you from a creature with shadow. We saw creatures with shadow earlier. Ambush Party. First strike, ambush party is unaffected by summoning sickness. Oh, so they've got haste. So instead of writing a whole sentence now, they just say it's haste. Gerard's Orders. For 1 green and 1 white, untap a creature of your choice. It gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Verfluchtes Fleisch, so that's cursed meat or flesh. The enchanted creature gets -1/-1 and can only be blocked by black or artifact creatures. Okay. So again, very nice haul. Next up is a Phyrexian Butcher. It's a creature, it's a servant, it's got flying, 2/2 for 3 and 1 black, and whenever Phyrexian Butcher is blocked by a white creature, you destroy it and it gets exiled. It cannot be regenerated. Crawworm, seen it before. Tranquility, we've seen it before. Orim's Cure. You pay 1 and 1 white. It's an instant. If you control a plains, you may tap an untapped creature you control instead of paying the mana cost of Orim's Cure. Okay, prevent the next 4 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Very nice. Icatian Scout. I think I've seen this before. Yeah, it's a 1/1 for 1. You can pay 1 and tap it. Target creature gains first strike until the end of turn. Grollop, Summon Beast. 2 and 1 black. For each 1 damage dealt to Grollop, each opponent gains 1 life. What? For each 1 damage dealt to Grollop, each opponent gains 1 life. Why is that a good thing? And we've got it 3 times. 4 times. I'm not sure what to think of this card because basically I attack with it or I block with it and all damage except excess damage means other people get, my opponents gains 1 life. Okay, and it's not even that strong. If it was like a 6/3, then I'm like, okay, well, it can do 6 damage. It can actually make a difference. But for 3/3 and the cost of 2 + 1 black, I wouldn't actually use this because, you know, it'll just give life to my enemies. No. Thrall Surgeon. Sacrifice Thrall Surgeon. So for 1 and 1 black. So 1/1. You can pay 1 and 1 black and sacrifice the card, and then look at target player's hand and choose one of those cards. That player discards that card. Play this ability as a sorcery. Cursed Flesh. We've seen this before. Yeah. That's a Watchful Skader. It's got flying. It's a 3/3 for 4 and 1 blue, and if you pay 2 and 1 blue, you can untap it. Chomano's Blessing. You may play Chomano's Blessing anytime you could play an instant. As Chomano's Blessing comes into play, choose a color. Enchanted creature has protection from the chosen color. Okay, so if I know that I'm being attacked by a red card, I'm just gonna and you can just give it, okay, very situational. Mighty Onslaught. It's an instant for 1 green. A creature of your choice makes induces gets trample actually. And every time this creature gets damaged this round, you get the number of life points equal to the damage. If you pay the bonus, which is one white. Wandering River. For each basic land you have, you get 2 life. Viashino Bay for 3, 2 and 2 red. And when it attacks, all other creatures you have also attack if able. Hill Giant, we've seen him before. Ironclaw Orcs, summon orcs. Cannot be assigned to block any creature with power greater than 1. Okay. Duskwalker, creature, minion, kicker, 3 black or simply 1 black. When you pay it, if you it's 1/1. If you pay 3+1 black in addition, it comes into play with 2+1/+1 counters on it and has Duskwalker, can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or black creatures. Steinhagel, we've seen this before, destroy a land. Hobble, we've seen this before. Fireball, seen it before. Knight of the Mists, we've seen this before. Viashino Warrior, 4/2. Urborg Panther. I've learned that Urborg is in Dominaria. It's a knight gaunt something or other, and it's 2+1 black, and it's a 2/2. If you pay 1 and you sacrifice this, you can destroy a creature of your choice that has blocked this guy this turn. Or you can just sacrifice it. Oh no, you need to have 3 cards. Wild Shadow, Breath Stealer, and this one, and then you can do something. But I don't think we're going to get those. Illusion Wall, we've seen this before. This is the Essence Flare, we've seen this before. Another Kavu for 3+1 red, 3/2, and it gets +1/+1 if you have at least 1 swamp. It's an elf, a Yavimaya collector, and we've got them twice. So it's 2+1 green, 2/2, and it's got Echo. So basically when it first enters play, you can look through your library and get 1 basic land that you can put in this round, even if you've played another land, but it comes in tapped, and then you have to shuffle. And in your next upkeep phase, you have to pay the echo cost, or else it goes away. Battering Ram, we've seen this before. Scouts for 2+1. They're simply 1 force, nothing special. Except, of course, the art is beautiful. Circle of Protection from black. Eternal Warrior. I really like this card. Very Eastern. Very Japanese. You use it to enchant a creature, and the attacking does not cause enchanted creature to tap. Pygmy Pyrosaur. Oh, that's cute. It's a tiny dragon. It's a lizard. It can't be blocked, and if you pay an additional red, it gets +1/+0 till the end of turn. Another protection from black. We've seen this bay before. Pikemen, we've seen them, but I think with a different artwork. Mad Wrath. It's an enchantment for 1/1 red. The enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and can't block. Goblin War Buggy. Yeah. 2/2, and it is unaffected by, so it's got haste, and you have to pay an echo if you don't want to lose it. Brothers of Fire. Brothers of Fire deals 1 damage if you pay an additional 1/2 to target creature or player, and 1 damage to you. Okay. Carapace. Enchant creature. It gets +2/+0. Yeah, makes sense. You can sacrifice it to regenerate creature. To regenerate the creature that it has, that you have used this carapace to enchant it. Dwarf. Undo, we've seen this before. Cloud Elemental, we've seen this before. Man o' War, we've seen this before. Splinter. You destroy an artifact. As simple as that. Burden Maiden, we've seen her before. Goblin Rock Sled. Trample. Cannot attack if defending player controls no mountains. Rock Sled does not untap during your untap phase if it attacked during your last turn. Very situational unless you play against red. So basically I would never be able to use it because my partner doesn't play red. Hail of Stones. We've seen this before but with different art. You simply destroy a land of your choice. Okay, so another 50 and another 100. So again, I'm very happy. Yes, we are now seeing doubling up of cards, but in a good way. I'm not sure about this one card which basically only does 3 damage, and every damage it gets means everybody else gets a life. I find that really weird. Ambush Party, I think we've seen this before. It's, look at the, I mean, this is so shiny and so pristine. Land Leeches, we've definitely seen those before. Balduvian Warmakers, I've not seen before. Summon Barbarians, Rampage 1. Balduvian Warmakers can attack the turn it comes. So basically they've got haste. Bestial Fury. Enchant creature. Draw a card at the beginning of the upkeep of the turn after Bestial Fury comes into play. If enchanted creature attacks and it is blocked, it gains trample and gets +4/+0 until the end of turn. Okay. Circle of Protection from white. Lost Soul. Swamp Walk. For 1 +2 black, 2/1. Her hand gently beckons, she whispers your name, but those who go with her are never the same. Also a card that I will never get to play because my partner doesn't play black. But it's a beautiful card nonetheless. Dry Spell. Dry Spell deals 1 damage to each creature and player. Okay! That is if you have somebody who has a lot of single cost creatures and you just want to get them out of the way. Squall. Squall deals 2 damage to each creature with flying. That's the Razor Claw Griffin. We've seen it before. Wall of Wood we've also seen before. Here we've got the solid... This is the Solitary Trooper with Shadow. So this is the bow person of Davenor. We've seen her before. Disenchant. I really like this card because it's kind of like so thematic. The art is so thematic. You destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very simple. Elvish Healer. For 2 and 1. So 1/2 cleric. You can tap it to prevent 1 damage to any non-green creature or any player, or up to 2 damage to any green creature. Very nice card. Dryads of Shanodin. It's got forest, camouflage, whatever that means. Lanois Watcher. It's an elf. And you can play, when it comes into play, you can pay another 1 and 1 green, and then you can look through your library for an additional Lanois Watcher. And you can put this one into play straight away. Emerald Amulet. You can either untap a permanent or destroy an enchantment of your choice, or a creature of your choice loses its flying ability until the end of turn. Very powerful when you consider it only costs 1. Shatter. Destroy target artifact. Jotian Soldier, we've seen this one before. And here we've got Artifact Amulet of Krog for 2, colorless. You pay 2 and tap it, prevent 1 damage to any creature or player. Very nice. Theft of Dreams. For each tapped creature target opponent controls, draw a card. Okay. Lanois Elite. Kicker 8. If you paid the kicker cost, Lanois Elite comes into play with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Okay. But it's got trample nonetheless. So yeah. This would be good in a commander deck because you need 9 lands in total, or 9 mana, let's put it this way. Stone Rain, destroy target land. Okay, Hail of Stone, so it's called Stone Rain, actually not Hail of Stone. Mystical Compass. A mana producing target land becomes a basic land until the end of your turn. Okay. Soldevian Watcher. It's an artifact creature. It has 1/1, and if you pay 1, you can regenerate it, and an opponent of your choice gets to draw a card. So I guess this one dies, you pay 1, you get to regenerate it, but your opponent gets to draw a card. Fisia. Bury target land or creature. Very nice. This is expensive, but yeah. Splinter and another Splinter. Seen this before. Bashino Bay, we've also seen him before. Bloodlust, I've seen this before, I've got it. Target creature gets +4/-4 until end of turn. If this reduces that creature's toughness to less than 1, the creature's toughness is still 1. So yeah, you really make it very powerful, but it will also die. Bestial Fury, we've seen this before. Battering Ram, seen it before. Panic, we haven't seen this before. Play only during combat before blockers are declared. Target creatures cannot be assigned to block this turn. Draw a card at the beginning of next turn. Okay, so you prevent somebody from blocking. Youthful Knight, first strike. Okay. We've got this other knight card, this Shadow Knight, this blue one, and you have to sacrifice the knight when it comes in. Lanois Riders, and if you pay 1 white, it gets Vigilance. Stone Rain, destroy target land. Fire Slinger, it's a wizard, 1/1. For 1 and 1 red, and you can tap it, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player and 1 damage to you. Ice Their Glider, flying, cannot be assigned to block, 2/1. Soldevi's Stream Beast, for 5, artifact creature. Whenever Soldevi's Stream Beast becomes tapped, target opponent gains 2 life. For 2, it regenerates. So you attack for 4 and 2, but when you attack it, or when you use it to attack or to block, unless you give it vigilance somehow, your opponent gains life. Astrolabe. It's a mana source. Soldavian Steam Beast, here we are, again, and 3 times. Aetheric Glider, another time. Flare. Flare deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Draw a card at the beginning. We've seen this before, for 2 and 1 red. Shatter, we've seen this before. Errantry, we haven't seen this before. For 1 and 1 red, target creature gets +3/+0. If that creature attacks, no other creatures can attack this turn. Okay, so it would then be a single attack. Okay. Mountain Goat. Oh, it's got mountain camouflage. 1/1. I'll have to look up what this camouflage does, because we've seen it for forest and now for mountain. As they glider, we've seen before. School of Piranha. 1 and 1 blue, and during your upkeep pay 1 and 1 blue or sacrifice School of Piranha. Rushwood Herbalist. Discard a card from your hand, regenerate target creature. He's a spell shaper, 2/2. Okay, and for 1 green tapping you get to regenerate a target creature. That's good. I mean, that's, you know, that's a really good management system, which you don't really find these days, because that again deals with the graveyard, which is pretty much Black's domain, but it's good to see that in the old days it was also the domain of other mana types. So, last one. Wake of Vultures. For 3 and 1 black, flying, 3/1. For 1 and 1 black, sacrifice a creature, regenerate. So the vulture said to the griffin, "You gonna eat that?" Infernal Harvest, sorcery, 1 and 1 black. Return X swamps you control to owner's hand. Infernal Harvest deals X damage divided in any way you choose among any number of your target creatures. That's a very powerful card, and that would go into one of my commander decks if I ever were to build one. Well, I hope to build 1 sacrifice Tragic Poet. Tragic Poet for 1. It's a 1/1. Sacrifice Tragic Poet. Return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Very nice. I would weep, but my tears have been stolen. I would shout, but my voice has been taken. Thus I write. It's a very... that's very poetic. Okay, Feast of Famine. 3 and 1 black, instant. Bury target non-black, non-artifact creature or put a zombie token into play. Treat this token as a 2/2 black creature. Bury target non-black, non-artifact creature. So basically you can remove somebody else's creature. Mystic Veil, we've seen this before. Shimmering Ifrit. Flying and phasing out. Okay, I have to make a note now of 2 things that I need to look up. One is phasing, and one is this camouflage thing. Flying phasing, when Shimmering Ifrit phases in, target creature phases out. Okay. Betrayal, we've seen this before. Cloud Elemental, we've seen this before. Betrayal again. Tolarian Drake. Flying phasing, 2/4. For 2 and 1 blue. Handler des Meervolks, so basically that's a merchant of the merfolk. When it enters play, you draw a card, and then you decide on another card in your hand and you discard it. Another Stone Rain, another Shatter, so it's not Splinter, it's Shatter. Here, got this card, Ice the Glider. I really like the art on this one. Holy Strength, we've seen this before. Enchanted creature gets +1/+2. Agent of Stromgold. Summon Knight, 1/1. If you pay 1 red, you get 1 black to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. Dorothy Slayer. Ooh, I've never seen this one before. Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. We've seen this before because we've seen a couple of white shadow cards. A grey ogre, summon ogre. Femaref healer, prevent 1 damage to any creature or player. Twice. Grape shot catapult. You pay 4, and if you tap it, it deals 1 damage to target creature with flying. Scent of Ivy. Instant, reveal any number of green cards in your hand. Target creature gets +X+. We saw this with blue. Cemetery Gate. It's a wall. Protection from black. Shatter. This evil advice again. Fiery Mantle. Enchant creature. When Fiery Mantle is put into the graveyard from play, return Fiery Mantle to owner's hand. So you pay it on the creature. You play it on the creature, and then you have to pay red. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Howl from Beyond. I think we've seen this, but with different art. Let me just check. Yeah, Howl from Beyond. And Bloodlust again. Volrat's Curse. It's an enchantment. You enchant the creature, and the creature cannot attack, block, or use any of its abilities. The controller of said creature can sacrifice a permanent to ignore this enchantment until the end of turn. Whoa. So if you enchant one really powerful creature with this, they would have to sacrifice another every single round to prevent this. And if you pay 1 white, 1 blue, you put it back into the hand of its owner. I suppose this also goes for the opponent. They can also pay this, but if they don't have blue mana, it won't work. Zeitebbe. Time ebb. Okay, that's a weird term. Essentially what it does is you take a creature, any creature of your choice, and put it back on top of the library of the owner. So I suppose this goes for anything, including the graveyard. I'm not sure about exiled cards, but probably not, but definitely from the battlefield as well. Fear, with the different art. Okay, this card is too busy for me. I'm actually not a fan of this art. I prefer this one. A Lost Soul, we've seen this before. A Dying Whale, 1 and 1 black. Enchant creature. When enchanted creature is put into a graveyard from play, target player chooses and discards 2 cards from his or her hand. Very nice. Mark of Fury. Enchanted creature gains haste. At the end of turn, return Mark of Fury to its owner's hand. Lähmung. It's something like binding. So the enchanted creature cannot untap as normal. In order for the controller to untap it, they have to pay 4 in the upkeep. Weakness, -2, -1. Battering ram. Kavu Scout gets +1/+0 for each basic land type among lands you control. So if you have like, if this comes in a 3 mana, then 3 mana colors, then you would get +3. Power Leak. During the upkeep of target enchantment, of target enchantment's controller, Power Leak deals 2 damage to him or her. That player may pay 1 for each damage he or she wishes to prevent from Power Leak. Okay. Kraftverlust. It's an interrupt. Unless you pay X plus blue, and unless the target player pays X, the target spell is negated. Alarum. Untap target non-attacking creature. That creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Okay. Source of Life. You for X and 1 green. You or somebody else gets X life. Thunderscape Familiar. 1 and 1 red, first strike. Black spells and green spells you play cost 1 less to play. That's very nice. It's a Kavu, 1/1. Panic, seen this before. Rune of Protection from green. It's like a circle. Prevent all, so basically for 1 and 1 white. Prevent all damage. It's an enchantment and you have to pay 1 white to prevent all damage to you from a green source. Cycling 2. You may pay 2 and discard this card from your hand to draw a card. Play this ability as an instant. Storm Shaman, Summon Cleric for 0/4 for 2 and 1. And if you pay 1 additional red, it gets +1 until the end of turn. +1/+0. Guerrilla Tactics. Instant. Guerrilla Tactics deals 2 damage to target creature or player if a spell or effect controlled by an opponent causes you to discard Guerrilla Tactics from your hand. Reveal Guerrilla Tactics to all players and it deals 4 damage to target creature or player. Wow. Panic we've seen before. We've seen this. And the last one is the Horseshoe Crab. For 2 and 1 blue, you get a 1/3. And if you pay 1 blue, you can untap it. In the final days before the disaster, all the crabs on Tolaria migrated from inlets, streams and ponds back to the sea. No one took note. And that's it. So I'm very happy with the haul. This time round, the highest number of cards is a draw between red and white. I would say black comes in probably at the lowest. I've got a couple more greens than blacks, and blue also. So blue and green are almost the same, and I've got red is the highest, then comes white, then green and blue, they're almost the same, and then black is the lowest number of cards I got, and we got plenty of mana-less, or colorless I should say, and a couple of multicolored cards, really just a handful. I want to say 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, yeah. And that's the haul for today. I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, like I said, now I can actually go back to the cube and make it a singleton cube overall for all mana colors. And then at some point we will play with it. Talk to you soon. Bye.